he was in a special unit in the IDF where my friend will pick him up with a helicopter, fly him to different places around the Middle East. One case was Jordan. They will drop him there, and they'll come back a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, pick him up from another place, and on the airplane, there'll be like an intelligence officer from the Mossad or the Shabak, and he will be giving him notes. Over here you have a body, you have a Jordanian soldier here, you have a terrorist group over there, rebels right here, and he would just literally stay behind enemy lines for 1, 2, 3 weeks, picking up targets by himself, and then come back and give the coordinates so Israel can go and take the bodies so they can use them later. Welcome back, guys, to all of you Special Forces fans. This video is a very interesting one, giving you a glimpse of the life of the Tier 1 Special Forces and the things that they're dealing with. So without further ado, watch the video.
During the 17 years you guys were in, was there ever a moment where you guys were so deep that you had intel where we were this close to possibility of a World War something really nasty? Was it ever a point where it was so close that if this thing happens and this triggers this, we could be in a World War III overnight? Was there ever a moment like that in your 17 years?
There were a couple scenarios under the Trump administration. Right before I retired, we were spinning up to do a couple things that if they would have went, potentially. And I'll be honest, Trump canked us when we were on the ramp getting ready to go. He solved it. However he does, whatever he does, he called and literally stopped us on the ramp.
You vividly remember that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we spun up to go. We were going to go do the thing and got in midair and got ready to do the whole process, and we got canceled and spun around and came back home.
Okay, so this has got to be 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. This is that time.
Yeah.
And if this were to happen?
I mean, potentially, could have been an active engagement with a bunch of Russians. Could have been dicey. You just never know.
So you're on the ramp, you're ready to go, everybody's, strapped, you boom, get the phone call. Nope, it's quarter, we're not going on it.
Mm-hmm. Huge letdown. Huge letdown.
You wanted it.
Oh, I mean, everybody wants it. Everybody wants to go. And you start to think about the ramifications, like what if this goes south? Like, what if this does spike off the whole thing and now we're stuck here, we can't get back home? What if it does go nuclear? Now everybody's back home and we're stuck here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it gets dicey.
I once had, not in that scale, but I once had an incident where I was sitting home, I got called by my unit, and they told me, come right now to the unit. There was an Israeli teen entered one of the Arab neighboring countries. I'm not going to say which one, because he wanted to go for, to make coffee beyond the border and come back and just tell a cool story to his friends. I think he was 16 years old. And he got kidnapped by people from that country. And I got called and we ran to the base straight away, and we were all geared up. The helicopter was ready. We were ready literally to go beyond enemy lines to go and rescue him before he managed to be taken deeper inside that country, and then we'll never hear about him. That was before October 7th, and we were really afraid we are going to end up with another Gilad Shalit. And I remember when I was there ready with my friends, and we were thinking like, oh boy, this can go sideways in so many ways. We're just going to invade an enemy country with a special unit and probably fight with the people who kidnapped him, who happened to be actually their soldiers, the official soldiers of that country, and then bring him back. Because that's your job. Your job is to rescue the people of your country. And there was a lot of heat. A lot of thoughts been happening, that this is going to end up in the news the next day. And what's going to end up in the news? Is it going to be a catastrophe? Is it going to be heroic? Is it going to be a lead to a full-scale war with them? A lot of things were going on. And I would say luckily it was called off because the negotiation team managed to solve it and we brought back that kid. Just what he said here, there was a frustration because we were really waiting on doing that, because that's the thing you've been training all your life. Your entire service, these are the moments you're training for. So there is some excitement wanting to go and do it, wanting to go and get these guys and take care of the ones who did it. But on the other hand, it's good to have a strong leader that is smart and wise and know how to call off these operations because of the repercussion that might happen after. So Yeah, I kind of relate to what he's saying right here because I've been in a similar situation. Again, not in that scale. We're not about to go and start a war with Russia or nuclear suitcase that someone is holding and trying to smuggle it to another country. I don't know exactly the details there, but yeah, let's keep watching.
But is it like, okay? So maybe let me ask a question a different way. Is it like you've seen the movie Hurt Locker? I don't know if you with what's his name? Who's in? He's phenomenal.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
It's a
Some
good
name
movie.
like
Very
that.
realistic.
Jeremy Renner.
Renner. I'm sorry, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, phenomenal actor. And you watch him just go up, and he shows almost the addiction with the adrenaline and the life on how close you're always on the edge, and he always wants to go back. Every time he comes back, he's around his wife. He's like he just wants to go back and doesn't know how to be a father. Is it like you're always itching for something to be a part of? Like, give me the next mission for me to go on.
Yeah, and what Jeremy Renner does in that movie is he's operating on switches and not dials. He's flipped it. He fell in love with it. He gets a taste of the adrenaline. You can't get it out of your system now. Now you just chase it. We call it chasing a dragon. You can chase it the entire time. Be careful what you wish for. You'll eventually find it.
It's a very interesting statement. I remember my unit, I kind of divided it to three types of people. Born fighters, I would call them, on the verge of almost mercenaries mentality. They just wanted to fight. They were good fighters and they just wanted to go and find the big challenge, to chase that dragon and find a good fight, a good challenge, and whatever. They were very lethal, these guys. And then you had the idealists. People who are also as good in fighting, but they were doing it out of ideology. They were doing it because they really believed in rescuing life, defending their country, and just doing something that might matter with their life, finding a good cause to fight for. I think I belonged more to that group. We were not looking for fights, but we're not shy from a fight, and we had a much more ideological kind of drive that was moving us. And then you had the weirdos. The weirdos were just a mix of two. They were just either mercenary mentality, either just there because they're adrenaline junkies, or just because they were just so good at what they're doing. But it's one of these guys that you say that I'm so happy I have him on my side because something is just not wired in his head. I mean, he's highly intelligent, highly capable, but just I'm glad he's on our side. One of these, we call it the one-man army kind of people. So we had these kind of groups in my unit, and I've seen it in many other units. Some units have more of that kind of group, some more of that, but in general, you will find these guys in the special forces. And it's very interesting what he said about chasing the dragons. And be careful what you're asking because you might find it. I have some friends that are still, I call them lost. They're still traveling the world and looking for these things and just doing all kind of weird, bizarre jobs all around the globe, in Africa and South America and all kind of shady places, just because they're looking for that dragon.
But a lot of times they spend their entire career chasing the one thing and they never stop to, enjoy it.
Was this mission to take somebody out?
I can't get into all the specifics, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot of people going through international waters that shouldn't have been, potentially, possibly carrying some stuff they shouldn't have been. And we were going to intervene, and he solved it. Which is a good thing and a bad thing because you want to go to work, you want to do the thing. But
the way it was presented that was solved, was it like, yeah, I made a phone call, I spoke to him. Did he publicly say how he solved it or no? This was all behind. So this is not even anything that publicly has been disclosed.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even get a phone call. Just they literally turn around like, can't get going back home.
Was Barrett
Really?
was he your commander at the time? The chief at the time? Okay, no. So
No.
he got out in 2024. No, yeah, he wouldn't have been in. He got out 24.
That's a cool podcast setup that you have there.
So,
All these
okay.
hats.
Interesting.
And
So-
books. I like it.
Today, what we're seeing right now, right? You and maybe let me go while we're still on that topic there. Qassem Soleimani. Do you guys remember Qassem Soleimani? Mm-hmm. And when that happened, that was were you guys part of that at all or no? Do you guys know friend? Okay. So you obviously have peers that were part of this who were on this mission. This was a crazy one. No? I mean, this was a January 3rd, 2020. We take out Qassem Soleimani, who is the guy who manages all the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. He's the guy that's dealing with all the proxies. He's the guy that's dealing with Houthis, with Hezbollah, with all those things. And he could potentially be the guy that's running Iran. When this happened, were you guys like, holy shit, this could turn into something? Or was it like, okay, this is a statement. Knock it off, stop, don't do anything.
Big show of force.
And if you do, this is what the U.S. is capable of doing.
I see that as like a show of force, like how committed we are, how far you're willing to go for the whole thing. No different than, the Israelis after Black September. I don't care if it takes a decade. We're going to go the entire way. And I think we've shown that as a country a lot.
I was once staying in Miami. I missed my ship because I had some, medical exams that I had to do and they were expired. And I had to stay in Miami for 2 more weeks with my family. And I had a very dear friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a former Mossad. He was a former IDF pilot from the time of the Kippur War and everything. And he had this beautiful villa kind of suite on the 40th floor, I think, over the Hollywood, kind of the beach there in Miami. Panoramic view, beautiful. And he just happened to go on a vacation with his wife and told me, come, stay at my house. You can stay with your family until you sort your things. And when I was in his house, I saw a picture on the shelf. And the picture showed him. It was a black and white picture. It was him with 2 other dudes. And I just asked him, one of them was holding a sniper gun, I think. And I asked him, like, who are these guys? And he says, oh, that's a cool story. You see that guy here in the middle? Have you watched the movie Munich? So right when Golda Meir came and asked the Mossad to go and hunt down all the Nazis in the world, till the last one of them, just go and show them that wherever they go, doesn't matter how long they hide, Israel will find them and bring them to justice. And I said, yeah. And he said, so the guy that was playing him in the movie was Eric Bana, whatever, the guy from Troy, really cool actor. He also played Huey, I think, in Black Hawk Down, the Delta Force guys. When they asked him, when you go home and they're going to ask you, Huey, why are you doing this? And he will say, they won't understand, because it's all about when the bullets start shooting around your head, it's all about the man right next to you. And that is so true, by the way. So anyway, he told me that this is the real guy. Before or after, no, that was before the Mossad operation. He was in a special unit in the IDF where my friend will pick him up with a helicopter, fly him to different places around the Middle East. One case was Jordan. They will drop him there, and they'll come back a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, pick him up from another place. And on the airplane, there'll be like an intelligence officer from the Mossad or the Shabak, and he will be giving him notes. Over here, you have a body, you have a Jordanian soldier here, you have a terrorist group over there, rebels right here. And he would just literally stay behind enemy lines for 1, 2, 3 weeks, picking up targets by himself. And then come back and give the coordinates so Israel can go and take the bodies so they can use them later on for investigation, what's on them, or maybe exchange, hostage exchange and, political leverage. But that was the guy. Wow, what a bad Tusik role to have in a war. And what a special, unique guy you need to be for these things. It's the kind of guys that they kind of flourish in chaos and in war and not necessarily do as well in the world of business later on and in the normal life, day-by-day routine. But you have these people that are just born to be wielding an axe in a battlefield somewhere, born to be a warlord with just, women jumping on him and people writing songs and stories about them in battle, but not necessarily in the normal Western civilization, capitalist world. But anyway, that was a cool story. And the thing that Israel sent there was a very strong message that went and echoed for generations. If you mess with Israel, we will find you and you will pay for it.
Take us 10 years, 20 years, we're going to keep going the entire way just because we said we would. Then it's what it is. You can go wherever you want. You can hide as much as you want. Your trade craft can be phenomenal. We just have people that are going to sit in this room all day long, do nothing but hunt you. And we'll find you. It's a superpower.
That we have.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have people who just sit in a room all day long, do nothing but just pick you apart. They'll unravel your entire existence right now. That's all they do. And there's endless manpower of them.
Us. Yeah. U.S.
Yeah, I mean, like anybody we have to go after, any target we have, I mean, there's people that's all they do.
In my last visit to Israel, by the way, the subscribers didn't help me go. I sat with a very good friend of mine, and we did a podcast together. I couldn't show his face. I'm going to air it, once I finish editing the stuff that I had. He was from the intelligence unit of the IDF, and we talked about the espionage capabilities of Western countries in general in the world and who are the strongest. And he said basically the strongest he will have, the tier one, are the US, Russia, China, a little bit kind of Germany. And then Israel is kind of between tier two to tier one. Capabilities wise, Israel is undoubtedly tier one. But he said the only difference is that for every Israeli analytic or, cybersecurity guy, not cyber hackers that are sitting there, they have 1,000. And what he's mentioning here, they have these people that are just sitting in their house all day, and all they do is they will hunt you down. They will find any way to find you. And a smart country will gather these people, give them everything they need so they can do what they're good at. You can't hide from them. I asked him how difficult it is today to hide, to go rogue, to go off the grid, that no one will find you. Is it even possible today? And he thought about it for a second, and he told me, well, it kind of depends where you are and who is looking for you. And I said, what do you mean? He says, if you're in New York, if you're in London, if you're in the UK, Europe, it's very easy to find you. There's so many cameras, so many digital fingerprints, so many people that might mention your name, people talking in forums and I don't know what, delivery people, so many other factors that can work, and one of them might be a weekend, and they can go and through that get a bigger picture, puzzles, start putting the pictures on the wall and connecting the dots and I don't know what. But if you're in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, some other places, it might get harder. But bottom line, he said, he doesn't believe it's possible anymore to go off the grid. With the world that we're living today, with the satellites, with AI, with technology, with the manpower they can put in one person, all of you, thousands of you, find me that person. Doesn't matter how. And then you have field agents, and then you have the computer geeks, and everything in between. Economical transactions, you name it. It became impossible. That's very interesting. Kind of scary, especially when the world will turn to AI. Everything's going to be AI. And once AI, if it turns against us, it's going to be very hard for humans to survive. One of the ways that Osama bin Laden was able to survive for so long, or his Sinwar, is because they realized that the West is so dependent on technology, on the signal, and for them to trick the West, they need to get away of all these things and go back to the primitive, primal way of living and just living in a cave, eating from the farm that you have, from some chickens and goats that you have with you in the cave or underground, and just not depend on anything from the outside. But it's very interesting. Anyway, guys, if you watch until here, I will highly appreciate if you can do the subscribe, share, like, leave a comment, help this channel grow, help the gods of the algorithm push this content to more people. If you want to find direct, practical way to support my channel, because after all, I am doing this out of my own free will and out of my own free time and my own free expenses. Well, it's not free, actually. Then you can go and check my Patreon, where you can find direct, practical way to keep supporting this channel so I can keep doing this work and then this channel can keep growing. The bigger the channel is, the bigger the guests I can bring you and the bigger the content I can cover. But until then, guys, don't do anything stupid. And like I said, in general, just don't do anything that I would do. Like getting ready to jump into a foreign country and start an international incident. Yeah, that's probably not a smart thing to do. But until then, guys, see you next time. Stay safe.